Oh, I crumpled the wrong paper. Oops. I got something interesting here. Right now, I know a lot of people are kind of, relishing in the Donald Trump win. I'm just going to go check my check my stove there. Get kind of cool in here. That, okay, he's won, that's it. Now, the recounts with Jill Stein, I just want to make a really quick video on this. My quick videos always end up an hour, but still. How she's doing the recounts. I've been trying to put, like, what, cui bono. Who benefits the most from the recounts? Now, there's a possibility, my first possibility, again, there's no way to ever prove this or whatever, but maybe Donald Trump put her up to it. Yeah, hear me out on this one. I already covered it in my World War III update, but here's the thing. Jill Stein, okay, throughout the entire election campaign, was as anti-Hillary Clinton as she could possibly be. And, okay, fair enough. But then all of a sudden just switches and, now she's, anti-Trump? She was already anti-Trump, but she's and she knows she's not going to get, enough votes to warrant the $9 million this woman has made so far doing recounts. Well, she didn't, maybe not made that, but raised. And we don't know who is funding these recounts. So, the Green Party has already outed Jill Stein. Now, Jill Stein, if she's actually doing the right thing, I can get a bit of a fire going in there. This woman is a patriot beyond belief because her name is mud right now. So I'm not saying she is, because she could be on the other side too. But I'm thinking about it. Okay, so Donald Trump gets the recounts going because he knows the Electoral College, there might be a coup there, where they might not give him the Electoral College, and if they don't give him the Electoral College, then, okay, you don't have a clear winner, then, well, we'll just go with the popular vote, Hillary Clinton will become president. Now, what a whammy that would be. And I've said this, why would Hillary Clinton win? This is why I was so stuck on Donald Trump not winning the election, was because it was so rigged. It's the same reason why the economy hasn't collapsed yet. It's rigged. But it doesn't mean they don't, they can't still steal the election. Could you imagine what happens the day after the election is stolen from Donald Trump? And we'll know this in probably the 13th to the 19th, when the Electoral College casts its votes. I don't know what date it is. I've heard two dates. So if you know the exact date, that's the dates to watch out for. So let's say these recounts, okay, everything's still in limbo past the recounts. I mean, they didn't do the recount the day after the election. They're doing it close to the point of where the Electoral College has to make its say. But if everything is in limbo and you don't know if, while they're recounting that, so they don't know if he really won it or not, then, okay, well, to move things along, let's just go with the popular vote. So that's how they can steal it from Hillary Clinton. That said, it does seem that a lot of these recounts seem to show the fraud of Hillary Clinton a little bit more, where she's actually getting less votes and Donald Trump is getting more votes, and he's actually taking more areas. So if they could do this in time and get the popular vote, because remember, Trump only needs, if Hillary Clinton if she loses votes, he only really needs to make up the illegals, which was 2 to 3 million votes. So Donald Trump actually won the popular vote if you take away all the illegals that voted. And remember, Barack Obama on live television said, if you're an illegal, you can vote. There will be no repercussions. Just go out and vote. And so, yes, when the mainstream media is saying, oh, these illegals voting, that's just fake news. No, he said that. It is pretty much, never mind the people that voted multiple times, which probably happened on both sides to count, that's a possibility. But, the Democrats, again, Operation Veritas talking about how, yes, we've been rigging the vote since 1957, busing people around to vote multiple times, and you've got dead people voting. So you do these recounts, and you get rid of those, then Trump won by a landslide, both the Electoral College and the, whether you like him or not, he won the popular vote. So you take away 3 million illegal votes, he's got the popular vote, then the Electoral College doesn't matter either, because you'll have both. You know what I mean? Now, if the Electoral College's people of the Electoral College have been getting death threats all week. Don't vote Trump or we're going to kill you. There could be some people that might, actually have we're not talking SJW threats, but spooks with a spy via spy 007 type of stuff going on, saying, yes, we got your kids. If you don't want them dead, you do this. You know what I mean? We'll let them go after you do the right thing. So that could happen too. I mean, and of course these people can't go to the police. I mean, they're going to, that type of thing, if that's happening. Or they could legitimately again, if you kill an electoral college guy, that'll work in favor of Trump. Again, it's like, okay, well, why are these lefties? Like it will completely null and void the recounts. But let's say these recounts keep coming in favor of Trump, which they seem to be doing. Then that secures them over the popular vote. So then, okay, well, it's like, okay, well, the electoral college can't make a decision. They're at a stalemate or whatever. However, it's going to work. Well, okay, fair enough. We don't have a clear winner. Oh, yes, we do. Donald Trump, he won it by 10 votes. He won the popular vote by 10 votes. Oh, wow, how about that? So, the other thing, too, you have to factor in is, it's almost guaranteed Donald Trump, again, how many votes were stolen from Donald Trump, I don't know. But it's almost, you could just look at the rallies, that'll give you an indication. The amount it's not a guaranteed, but you don't have every rally sold out on his campaign, every rally sold out, and tens of thousands of people standing outside stadiums just to be a part of that. Versus Hillary Clinton have to canceling a few rallies. She did like hardly any in comparison, and they had to pay people to go there. You didn't have to. People were paying to go see Trump, not the other way around. You know what I mean? So his rallies, again, even if you were a leftist, and a few leftists, they went into these rallies saying, okay, I'm going to go expose how racist Donald Trump is, and they come out the biggest Donald Trump supporters. So like, oh my God, I go there and I see all walks of life, all races, all creeds, men, women, all, gay, straight, whatever. There they all are unified at the Trump rally. That's the danger. They don't want the U.S., unified. They don't. The world elites don't want that. I mean, at a Hillary Clinton, you get a rally, what do you get at the Trump rallies? USA, USA. You know what I mean? Like, kind of like 1982 kind of patriotism that I remember from Americans. You know what I mean? Like that type of thing. Where are you from? America. That type of thing. Like you're dressed in the American shirt, the American pants, the American bandana, got American gold rings on, like the real over the top, that type of thing. Another, fine, love your country, that's fine. I'm the same with Canada, so but the case in point here is that that's one possibility, that Trump may have put Jill Stein up to this because they know it's rigged and that on a recount, he'll get it. And that kind of is an insurance policy against the Electoral College. So that even if the Electoral College doesn't cast a vote, he still gets the popular vote. If they say, well, okay, well, I had the Electoral College, you took it from me, it will backfire on the Clintons and the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, the people up at the top, the Kissingers, the Brzezinskis, the George Soroses. It will backfire on them quite substantially if they take it from Trump that way. So that will backfire on the Electoral College people, which some would probably be assassinated for doing that. So I don't envy those people right now because some of them might actually lose their lives. But it's that or a civil war, right? Like an actual shooting civil war or a military coup. Now, the other possibility is Jill Stein is a shill and, is doing it to destroy Trump. The Green Party's already outed her. And the funder is George Soros, which makes much more sense because we know what George Soros is like. This man is a cretin on humanity. He's just such a horrible, horrible, horrible person. So you got that going on. Now, here's where it gets interesting. If they do this just to, like I say, to bind up the Electoral College so that they can't make their vote because everything is in recount, okay, well, then they can say, okay, well, everything's in recount, so we got to omit this electoral, all the electoral colleges where Trump has. You get rid of the big ones, it'll put him so far behind in the vote that it'll be a clear majority for Hillary Clinton. And again, they'll be able to say, hey, you know what? We'll just go with the popular vote, and she gets it. That is would they do that? Well, considering how crazy the world elites are, I believe they would try this. Will it work? I would not be going to work in the Congress that day after. I would definitely be getting out of Dodge. Right now you have a lot of world elites heading to Antarctica for some reason. There's something going on in Antarctica. Anyway, I don't know what it's all about, but there seems to be a lot of activity going down there of world elites. I don't know what this thing is. So something to look on down there. But are those people just getting out of Dodge because they know that there's going to be, massive bloodshed when they steal the election? And to steal the election, like Hillary Clinton, obviously would never be able to show it. Someone's going to. I'm not making any threats, but somebody would assassinate her in 5 minutes. It's like you stole the election, bang. You know what I mean? Like I mean, they're already riled up, but that could be the goal was all along was to get if let's say hypothetically Donald Trump's in on it all the way. Build everybody up and then just rip the carpet out underneath them, make them all mad, get them into a civil war. You get secession movements throughout the United States. Everybody breaks up. China comes in again, buys up they'll just come in and buy up everything. China would benefit the most for the United States breaking up. They would just come in. The globalists benefit the most from the United States breaking up. They don't want sovereign nations, so that's the best way. Best way to break up a sovereign nation is through war. Yugoslavia, Czechoslovakia. You know what I mean? You could look at what happens there. So now you have Slovakia and Czech Republic, right? So you get the idea. You can break up a country pretty easy through civil wars. Ukraine, you know what I mean? That type of thing. Syria. You could break it up and balkanize it. It's kind of like the Greater Israel Project, but for the United States. So that type of thing. So I don't know. We'll have to keep an eye on this. They got about a week left to steal it from Donald Trump. Then after that, if he gets the Electoral College, he's still on course. But at that point, something can happen, such as they could put economic turmoil. But they can't really do it yet. They have to do it after Trump is inaugurated because they can't collapse the economy when Obama's been out there saying that anybody that says the economy is not good is a conspiracy theorist. Meanwhile, U.S. labor petition rates are at a 40-year low. You got 94 to 96 million people out of work, maybe even more than that now. So, number one, Obama's lying, but he's lying for the bankers, right? The Federal Reserve, Rothschilds, Rockefellers, that type of thing. All these people at the top. And the thing about it is that if Donald Trump gets assassinated, like Donald Trump was the last possibility before a military coup. That's all I'll say about that. You've already got your kind of civil race war kind of brewing, but like I said, under Donald Trump, it wasn't going to last long. They can't really get it going full bore. Why Black Lives Matter, I think, is going to be defused fairly soon once Trump is inaugurated. Now, once he's inaugurated, they're going to start to turn the economy, but they can't do it on day one. They have to wait about 4 or 5, 6 months, 8 months, whatever, before they can start making the economy bad. But in that time, he can do a lot of stuff that buffets the blow from letting the economy go, such as some of the things he's talking about, such as privatizing the banks, so that these like Wells Fargo and I guess we'll have to do the Federal Reserve and all that, audit the Federal Reserve and then end it, so you can put people in jail. But things like Wells Fargo, okay, well you lose, and Goldman Sachs and all that, you lose people's money, we're not going to bail you out anymore. So in other words, it becomes like an Iceland solution, which would be the best. Let the bankers fail. However, you might lose your deposits, but you let the bankers fail and not re-bail out the banks again. And then that will just kill those things will starve to death. They're parasites anyway. Banks right now don't have to make money because they get bailouts. That's the problem. So Trump is talking about getting rid of that. Now, he still has to act this stuff. And of course, you got the mainstream media saying how Trump's policies are failing. But the guy's not even in power yet. That's the whole thing. He's got to make it to that inauguration date. And then from there on, again, if you have some wacko leftist try to kill him, that'll only martyr him, so that'll backfire, and trust me. I think the leftism is going to die out fairly soon in a very violent way, not in people getting killed, but just people aren't, they're going to invade their safe spaces. This is like, even up here in Canada, the mainstream media is worried about far-right groups rising up in Canada. And if there was ever a time for a nationalist party to really take hold in Canada, we do have one, but it's too 1933 Germany. That won't fly here. Too many grandfathers died fighting Nazis, right? Whatever your take is on World War II, that doesn't matter. The perception is up here, it's not going to fly. But if you put a Canada first, kind of like America first down there in the States, nationalism, all the buzzwords. I can't believe all the people that are touting how great NAFTA is now. The same channels were saying how horrible it would be, which was honest, back then when it came out under like Mulroney and Clinton and all that. So the thing is that the people, they see the scam for what it is. But I do believe, again, we're living in extremely interesting times, which we'll have to wait and see what happens. But at the end of the day, I don't know which way it's going to go. I think the next week is going to be a very interesting week. Again, like I say, after the day after the election, let the games begin, right? You have to understand the fight is starting now. It's not, we didn't win, and the people that voted Trump, they didn't win. It's the fight is starting now. So you don't throw in the towel as soon as you think. There is no coasting here. You're going to have to fight tooth and nail to save your country. That it's not just one country; it's all countries. Look, you got a Trump win in the States, but Austria they fucked up. You know what I mean? They didn't get the right guy in there. So there's going to be wins and losses in this battle. You still have Marine Le Pen over there in France. If she wins, that might be France could possibly be saved. Germany, if the far right party, because again, you have to understand, you have these parties. You got to understand, if there was fair, non-biased reporting, the problem would be no problem. Even here in Canada, we'd probably have a sensible government. But the thing is that with what's going on is that because the system is so rigged worldwide, for example, when you have all the European mainstream media saying, the same thing that the mainstream media is saying in the United States, that there's no variation of opinion here, that it's all just, Donald Trump's bad, and populism is bad, and it's racist and bigot, xenophobe, homophobe, all that, thisphobe, thataphobe. When that's all you get from every mainstream channel, that tells you that you've got a mockingbird media. You don't have independent journalism. And when every mainstream media comes out and says anything that you hear outside of us is fake news, without vetting it, offering you any proof or logical reasons why it's fake, you got to kind of question that. And I think that's what people are waking up to. In other words, the brainwashing isn't working. But I can talk for this issue forever and a day. All we can do is wait and see what happens. Now, again, if Hillary Clinton finds a way to steal this election, again, she is that crazy. The people that handle her are twice as nuts as her. The distractions that are out there is one thing. For example, Pizzagate is out there. It is kind of a distraction. I'm not saying it's real or not real because we don't know. It's all circumstantial at this point. And it connects so many world elites. But you already got the mainstream media out there saying that, oh, no, it's not real. There's nothing real about it. It's just fake news. But they don't give you one shred of debunking. It's like, no, just take our word for it. It's fake news. And the thing is while you're paying attention to that, you're not paying attention to the recounts. It's always a sleight of hand. It's kind of like Chris Angel runs the government or something. Here, I'll give you this. Look at this, what I'm waving in front of your face. And then, here you go. I got a coin behind your ear. You know what I mean? That type of thing. So that's the sleight of hand that tends to happen. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. Will Hillary Clinton be able to steal this election still? I don't know. Again, there's so many angles you can take this from. It's really hard to say which way it might go. But anyway, if Donald Trump stays true to course, and if they can't steal it from him, which would probably be the safer thing for most people, because also say if you hear Hillary Clinton, even if you're a Hillary Clinton supporter, I'm I'm looking out of everybody's best interest, because a lot of these Hillary supporters, they're really stupid. They're just really, really stupid. They'll believe anything they're told, and it already reflects in the statistics of the people who believe the mainstream media. It's all liberals. They'll even believe like Fox and CNN. You know what I mean? As long as it's telling them what they want to hear. They won't do investigative journalism at all. That said, what, why, where, when, and how is investigative journalism. Connect the dots. But the thing is, I would say, buy food. Bread and bullets. Have that ready, because if they steal this from Hillary Clinton, it's going to get rough. Or steal this for Hillary Clinton, it's going to get rough. So be prepared for anything. Until Trump is inaugurated, I think we're going to see, the closer we get to his inauguration, the more crazy the world's going to get. Remember, if they lose this attempt at stealing the election from Trump, then they have to force Trump into a war. That's the other thing, which is not going to be good for us either. And it's always the same people at the top, the Steens and Steinsenbergs, New World Order, Illuminati, whatever you want to call them, really corrupt people, douchebags of the planet. George Soros, Henry Kissinger, Zbigniew Brzezinski, Rothschilds, Rockefeller, all that banking cabal, and a whole host of other people out there. That, their motives can vary from anything from religious to just greed to just hatred of humanity. Whatever it is they're doing, it doesn't really matter. We just want them to stop. Yeah. But anyway, interesting times. Definitely interesting times. I don't think people have been more politically active in history than, now. Because of what's going on. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. So if you like this kind of content, please consider making a donation to the channel. Links down below. Thank you so much to everybody who has. I don't know how much longer the channel is going to be up, because they are really cracking down big time. Again, I can't even get into my Facebook off my other computer. My other computer, I can't log on to any internet anywhere. I don't know, maybe that's just my computer being old. I don't know. It's telling me that the same day I can't log on to Internet Anywhere is the same day with my regular computer, and I went to like free Wi-Fi hotspot. I went there and I started thinking about, okay, that on the same day, I go on my other computer, I try to log into my Facebook, and it's telling me that I changed my password 5 years ago. You know, and I know that, you know, these groups work together, so I'm not saying it is, I can't prove it, but it could be the end of my channel at some point. The new channel will be called The Northern Beacon. I don't know how long it will take to get that channel up. That channel doesn't go up until this one goes down, and then I start over again. And probably have to find a job too, because I'll be out of a job. But the flak is always thickest over the target, right? So we'll just wait and see. But think for yourselves. You know, never take anybody's word for it. Watch, wait, and see what happens. You know, it is getting to the point where, like, some things are becoming blatantly obvious. But anyway, so be true to yourselves. Be true to others. Always do the right thing, and have yourselves a great day. All right, good day, and welcome. All right, so I got... Oh, I crumpled the wrong paper. Oops. I got something interesting here. Right now, I know a lot of people are kind of, you know, relishing in the Donald Trump win. I'm just going to go check my check my stove there. Get kind of cool in here. That, okay, he's won, that's it. Now, the recounts with Jill Stein, I just want to make a really quick video on this. My quick videos always end up an hour, but still. How she's doing the recounts. I've been trying to put, like, what, you know, cui bono. Who benefits the most from the recounts? Now, there's a possibility, my first possibility, again, there's no way to ever prove this or whatever, but maybe Donald Trump put her up to it. Yeah, hear me out on this one. I already covered it in my World War III update, but here's the thing. Jill Stein, okay, throughout the entire election campaign, as anti-Hillary Clinton as she could possibly be. And, okay, fair enough. Like, but then all of a sudden just switches and, oh, now she's like anti-Trump? Like, she was already anti-Trump, but she's like, you know, and she knows she's not going to get, you know, enough votes to warrant the $9 million this woman has made so far doing recounts. Well, she didn't, maybe not made that, but raised. And we don't know who is funding these recounts. So, the Green Party has already outed Jill Stein. Now, Jill Stein, if she's actually doing the right thing, you get a bit of a fire going in there. This woman is a patriot beyond belief because her name is mud right now. So I'm not saying she is, because she could be on the other side too. But I'm thinking about it. Okay, so Donald Trump gets the recounts going because he knows the Electoral College, there might be a coup there, where they might not give him the Electoral College, and if they don't give him the Electoral College, then, okay, you don't have a clear winner, then, well, we'll just go with the popular vote, Hillary Clinton will become president. Now, what a whammy that would be. And I've said this, why would Hillary Clinton win? This is why I was so stuck on Donald Trump not winning the election, was because it was so rigged. It's the same reason why the economy hasn't clapped yet. It's rigged. But it doesn't mean they don't, you know, they can't still steal the election. Could you imagine what happens the day after the election is stolen from Donald Trump? And we'll know this in probably the 13th to the 19th, when the Electoral College casts its votes. I don't know what date it is. I've heard two dates. So if you know the exact date, that's the dates to watch out for. So let's say these recounts, okay, everything's still in limbo past the recounts. I mean, they didn't do the recount the day after the election. They're doing it close to the point of where the Electoral College has to make its say. But if everything is in limbo and you don't know if, you know, while they're recounting that, so they don't know if he really won it or not, then, okay, well, to move things along, let's just go with the popular vote. So that's how they can steal it from Hillary Clinton. That said, it does seem that a lot of these